Ohio gozaimasu. It's Thursday, October 31st, and happy Halloween. I am setting off to hit up the air cabin right now. Get a beautiful view of the city, and then we're gonna do Cup Noodles Museum and figure out if there's anything else cool to see here before heading to Tokyo. And I noticed there's a ferry. I'm wondering how much and how long the ferry takes to go from here to Tokyo. Yokohama is one of Tokyo's biggest ports. I think it is the biggest port here. And this is the customs area, formerly customs area, now it's just a museum. What a lovely little garden they have here. It's a big boat anchor. And I see the air tram. That looks like a sawmill building. Alright, we're gonna walk across and then take it back. And they have an amusement park downtown. That's wild. This sailboat, that is freaking awesome. Wow. Alright, we are on the Yokohama air cabin, built in 2021, so it's relatively new. I'm checking out a little different perspective of the area. Building's huge. There's the ship. And I believe Cup Noodles Museum's in that building over there. I've eaten a lot of instant ramen. Let's go pay homage. So unnecessary. Why is this staircase here? And why is it so big? And it was just white walls. You think they would have put like a Cup of Noodles thing up? All right, where are we going? I'm not doing the factory today. Noodles Bazaar. I think I want to do that one because that's where you eat. But let's just walk around and see. This place is a zoo right now. Ah, that's the Instagram wall. Oh, they got the UFO ones. Mamafuko was the founder of instant noodles. I see why David Chang paid homage to him and called his restaurants Mamafuko. All right, this is Mamafuko's workshop. We go in? Oh, we can go in. So I was in that workshop at age 48. He came up with instant ramen. And then that was a hit. At age 61, he came up with Cup of Noodles. And then at 95, he came up with space ramen. Here's his original one. Chicken ramen. It's spelled chicken ramen. I'm joking. So the reason he ended up in ramen is because in his 40s, his other businesses flopped. And he thought long and hard about what was important to people. Eating was important to people. And he remembered the lines of people that were trying to get ramen after the war. And that was his idea. Then he wanted to figure out a way to make it easily and accessible with just some hot water. So he spent a year working on it and came up with this. It was a big hit. And then he wanted to bring ramen to the American market, and while he was over there, it just wasn't clicking. And then he realized Americans don't eat with a bowl and chopsticks, but they do have cups and forks. So he took that and he came up with Cup Noodles, which you see here. That's the Cup Noodles factory. Basically, you get to use some markers to draw on a blank cup, and then just pick from the seasonings options, and you get to take it home. Cup Noodles Park. It is a playground for kids. Let's go to the Noodles Bazaar. Oh, they got a tuk-tuk. Ramen from all around the world. Interesting. Let's see. We have Italian. I think that's Kazakhstan. China, Korea. Vietnam. Not so sure about that one. And then maybe that's Malaysia. And then not so sure about that one either. Oh, it's Indonesia. And that's Thai. Makes sense now. Nasi goreng. I don't want the instant version of them. I'm very lucky that I've actually been to most of these. We're going to go to Korea and we're going to get some in Korea. And we're also going to go to Kazakhstan. I think those are the only two, and Vietnam. Those are the three places that I have not traveled to yet. But I'm going to go. I'm going to get them in person. Wow, what a nice view out here. Number 1, discover something completely new. Seek things the world has never seen but would be nice to have. Number 2, find hints in all sorts of places. There are inspirations that spark new ideas all around you just waiting to be found. So, number 1 was when he was looking for something that people would love and food came to mind, and then he realized those people lining up for the ramen. Number 2, he couldn't figure out a way to get the noodles to dry. And then he saw his wife cooking tempura one day and he's like, oh, if we fry the noodles, that'll work. Number 3, nurturing an idea. An invention isn't for just one person, everyone has to use it. So number 3, he basically was getting into battles with other people trying to knock off his noodles. And he said instead of doing that, he gave the patent to everybody and he nurtured the industry as a whole, and he grew instant ramens as a whole. He said a monopoly isn't going to do that, so he just said, let's all get together and to make this better for everyone. Number 4, look at things from every angle. Investigate every perspective. And I think that's where he was figuring out when he came to the States that people aren't here in the States going to use chopsticks. And once he realized if you put it in a cup and let them use their forks, which they had, it'd be a hit. And that's where Cup Noodles came from. Number 5, don't just go with the status quo. Think over what you think are usual. All right? And then number 6, never give up. Even if you fail the first time and the second time, keep on trying. So being a failure at business in his 40s didn't deter him from coming up with ramen and then Cup Noodles, and then even in his 90s he didn't give up on inventing stuff, and he came up with space ramen when he was 95. So Mamafuko Ando, good dude. There's a lot of lessons learned. Glad I went through the exhibits before the class trip got here. I bet they're gonna have an amazing time though. Alright, Cup Noodles Museum, that was educational and fun. Now I'm just gonna go for a walk in the city. It's noon and I plan on sticking around till maybe about 2 o'clock. So we're just gonna take a walk along the port and see what we can find. So, guess where Japanese beer started? right here in Yokohama, and the Kirin factory is here. It's about an hour and a half away, so I'm gonna do a little urban hiking and head up and do a brewery tour and learn a lot about Japanese beer. It's amazing that there's a field here. You'd think that'd be some valuable waterfront property. So quiet. You can hear a pin drop around here. Alright, I switched over to the main road to see if there's any more action over here, but not a whole lot. It seems like it's a residential / commercial area here. Not too much for me to look at as far as the tourist goes. It's kind of like any other neighborhood in a big city. A little dustpan and a broom. These are the trash bins. So I guess in this part of town, they do have trash bins out front. It seems very neat, orderly, and clean. I like that. And I think I'm getting closer to the museum / brewery. This is cool. Let me get a picture. The simulation. I just got, I guess, a cancellation, so they're letting me on the tour, but usually you have to make reservations. There's no video in there, so this is the last video you're gonna see for a minute. I'm eating their malt, umami flavored. The hops. It smells very hoppy. So we have first press and second press. Ichiban only uses the first press to make the beer. There's no alcohol in this part, so we're going to try it. But you can see a big difference in color. First press has much more flavor. Most delicious flavor. Home taps. Only in Japan. This is where the beer gets poured in. All right. Kanpai. We got lucky. They said the beer was very fresh today. Looks like they just made a fresh batch. It's delicious. Premium in the middle, and then so we have the regular one, premium one in the middle, and then we have the black one at the end. So let's try them. It is a big sample size. 絞り、一番搾り、プレミアム、一番搾り、黒生の3種類です。まずはご自身のペースで香り、色、味わいの違いをお楽しみください。改めて香り、色、味を比べることでそれぞれの味わいや個性を感じていただけます。今回は3種類の一番搾りを比較しやすいようにあえて泡をつけない状態でご提供しております。こちらももちろんブルワリードラフトマスターが一杯一杯丁寧にサーバーからついたものです。ではここからは香り、色、味の順でテイスティング方法をご紹介します。まずは香りです。香りを感じやすいようにこのように丸みのあるグラスでご提供しております。まずはグラスを顔に近づけて自然に香ってみてください。では次にこのようにグラスを少し斜めに傾けてゆっくりと一回転をさせてから香ってみてください。より香りがふわっ。Alright, that was another awesome adventure. I really liked that tour. Yeah, I got a little buzz at the end. that was a pleasant surprise. What a great tour. Learned a lot about the history of the brewery here, and I couldn't take a video in there of the history, but basically it was started in 1888 by some foreigners, actually some Germans, who were familiar with the brewing process, and they brought over all their stuff, and they brought over their brewmasters, and they set up shop here in Yokohama. The original plant was destroyed in 1926 by a big earthquake, but they reestablished and they built it up to this huge international brand now. And Kirin Ichiban, the Ichiban means number one, not because they're the number one beer, although they could be. It's number one because they only use the wort from the first pressing, which is the highest quality, highest flavor. So there you go, learn something new. Kirin Ichiban, Kirin number one. Yo, check the rolls out. I wonder who's that Rolls Royce sitting there for. Actually, Kanye is supposed to be here. I wonder if that was a recording studio. This is JP City Music. Are we in the music area? Is that Kanye? Should I go wait and see? All right, let's get a coffee and go check out the terrace. Did you go to Kobe when you were here?
I have not. I have not actually been to Kobe yet.
This is a Wagyu burger on top of curry. Let's see.
Oh yeah, what you can do is you can you can like split open the egg and like it'll.
Yeah. Very good.
Literally right here.
I want to do the go-kart so bad.
I mean,
You want to go? Let's go for a rip.
no, I do not want to.
No?
I am.
Monkey cart?
Driving down the streets of Tokyo does not sound like a fun
It's right here. We're so close.
But
10 o'clock Halloween in Shibuya. It's not as much going on as I thought there was gonna be. So I'm gonna go over to the crossing and see if there's anything going on. But it seems pretty tame for Halloween here. The upper deck. Yep, definitely a lot more people here.
I mean, honestly, Japan is celebrating Halloween more than.
There's like 2 cops here for all these people. It's wild. I don't know how they pull this off. People watching from up on the bridge. I'm seeing. So it looks like they must have shut down the crossing and they're doing crowd control and not letting anybody in there. So I'm gonna head down this way because they sent me down this way. And might loop back around. This looks familiar though. I feel like I've been over here before. Yeah, I've definitely been over here before. Totally. About 10 years ago, I was down this alley, and I believe there was a bar called Amulet that I went into. Let's see if it's still here. But going back to 2015, I was down this alley. I remember the bathroom at the end. It was right here, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it? Oh, right here, Amulet. Holy shit. I got an amazing memory. Yeah, it was in this little bar here. Alright, now there's some more cops. Still not letting anybody go down to the crossing. Must be too crowded. Let's go across the street.